And we are good to go. G'day guys, Rich here from PT Graduate. I've got Matt Norris here to my side. I'm not even going to point a finger because I always get it wrong. And
Hey guys.
today we are talking about education, about planning your education, about the things that you're budgeting for in your financial year to upskill yourself in your business, and be able to transfer that knowledge or implement that knowledge to provide an improved service for your clients. And I guess that's my summary of what it's all about. It might be different for you, but I think that's what it is for me in terms of what I spend my money on to invest on my education so that I can provide a better service for my clients. And I think also that education helps you refine your niche. I think the more time you spend doing a certain type of education, um, it sort of builds your skills in a certain area if you're following a certain path. And I think that helps you define your niche as a business better because your services become more defined. So it's a great way of using those new tools as also a marketing tool to say, hey, look, these are the skills I have. These are the clients that would ideally be suited to these new skills or these skills, and these are my services. So hopefully we can get into a little bit of detail about that, and we'll talk about courses. We'll talk about some of the things we're doing, some of the things we're providing, and some of the options that are out there. So we want to kind of lay out the landscape a little bit, where it's not just about PT Graduate, Rich and Matt. That's one element, but there's other stuff out there as well. And if you haven't already done this work and checked out what's available, then we're going to give you a flavor today. What do you reckon, Matt?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we are now it'll be end of Feb nearly. So if you're already a couple of months into the year, if you haven't already sorted something out for your continuing education, by the time you do, we'll be probably getting closer to half the way through the year, and then you may be looking at trying to cram things in. So I think we talked about it at the end of last year is plan what you want to upskill on and what you want to learn, because if you don't, I mean, you do end up doing different courses and stuff. And this is actually pre-recorded because me and Rich are both doing things this Friday. We're both actually doing two different things, two different workshops. I think you've done the lymphatic
I've done that.
draining or massage or so Rich has already done that one, and you're doing one with Dave, is it?
This Friday I'm doing, it's actually John Polly who's doing his next level 1.
Okay, yep. And then you've got another one already in place as well.
Yeah, and then the following, I've got 2 weekends in a row where I'm hosting, and I'll be fully occupied both weekends. So the following Friday is out too, which is why we've pre-recorded. That is the Holistic Movement Coach Mentorship.
Cool. So you're already, Rich is already, but before the end of Feb is already upskilling already straight away. I'll have one course down. I'll just finish in my nutrition course, which has gone a little bit slower just because of the baby. But I'll be just finishing the last few things. I've got to do that. So both of us have already nearly completed 2 things that is trying to push us a little bit further already. I'm only a couple of months in. So if you haven't, and I'm not saying that we're doing exceptional because of it, but we are always progressing, always trying to progress and trying to learn more. You can never learn too much, and I think new trainers tend to get taught something and then kind of that, okay, that's it. You need to start. We talked about financials a couple of weeks ago. Plan your money so that you have money for courses. That was my big thing when I first started. I think was I can't afford to go on a course because I can't afford it. Although I'd love to do it, I can't spend $1,000, $500. It might seem a bit much, but if you plan for it and you have a little bit of a kitty, I think Emma used to say she used to have a certain amount of money that she put towards a course, or she knew this is my budget for the year. Okay, have a look what's coming up, and from there you can then sort of be like, okay, this is what I really want to go towards. This is what is going to help me and my clients more, and this is what's going to be beneficial for my business. So a good way of looking at that is, we just literally just jumped onto the Reps website, and at one point there wasn't that much, was there? It really wasn't a massive amount.
It was pretty slim pickings for a while.
But now you've got a lot more that are available, even some like, international ones, some online ones, that are reps. So you get your CBDs, and this is what you want to do. You want to make sure that at the end of the year, you're not just going to FitX just to get all your points, although it's a great place to get them. But you want to be trying to take stuff that you're more interested in. I'm just having a look now. There's got to be probably over 50 there, and you've got like
right?
Precure.
Wow.
That's again different. It's kind of like using fitness as medicine.
That's Grant Schofield. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
grants I've done. I think I did the Understanding Health Research. I did one of them when they were doing some testing. The PK 105, and then you've got like the HPN.
Yep.
Is
Cliff.
there? You've done HPNA.
Yeah, I've done level 1 with Cliff. Yeah, HPN.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people have done that. You obviously got some marketing ones there. You got some life education, obviously John O's stuff in there as well.
Education
a lot
online.
of marketing, education online,
fitness,
a lot of marketing.
Yeah.
So there's heaps to choose from, and if you look through them all, what was that, mate?
There's loads. Yeah, that's quite a list, and that's not all of it compared to a few years ago. It's really improved.
That's it. What I think, there's one here, active anatomy, which neck and shoulder distance education, restoring optimal function, and then you've got all the skills active stuff as well.
Yeah.
On top of that, and then there's also you can just go and check out the providers on one of the other parts of the reps website and see like Radical Fitness do different classes, class ones. You've got the AUT sprints, PT Training Academy, Y-Bells coaching course. There's lots of you to choose from, but you need to try and figure out what's going to benefit you, not just what you fancy. I'm not just jumping on something quickly because you've seen it come up.
Yeah, like you said, Matt, I think it's looking at the budget and saying, look, these are my predicted earnings for the year. Therefore, I can afford this in terms of education and still live. And so then it's about going, right, what's out there that fits with my budget that I'm going to get maximum bang for buck? And some of that might be through asking people or reputation of the people that are giving the education. And then thinking about, if I do have this education, how do I integrate that back into my business so that it becomes a really, really good return on investment? Because it's all very well attending the courses and being amongst it on the day, which you always have a little bit of fun on courses when you're learning stuff, meeting people and doing the practical stuff, which we all love. But it's not valuable if you don't take it back to your business and integrate it properly. And part of that is practice, and part of that is trial and error, and working out how it best fits, so that your clients get maximum benefit. And I think that last element is a really critical part of that whole thinking process of where I'm going to spend my education dollars, because they have to mean something. It's not just dropping money into someone else's account and going, yep, done my education. That isn't the case.
Yeah, if you don't use it, it's like, training, you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
You don't use your knowledge, you lose it.
Yeah.
I can't
totally.
The amount of books I've read, and I've not used that information. It's still in there somewhere, and you kind of read it again, and I remember that, but you don't use it all the time. So it's something that you should definitely really plan. Okay, I'm going to do this course. How am I going to integrate it into my business?
Yeah.
Who's it going to affect? There's no point doing like a boxing course if you haven't got one client that wants to box, or do any boxing, or is remotely interested in it. It might be great for you and you might enjoy it, but if it's not going to help your business, you're not going to get the money back. Obviously we want to learn because we want to understand new things and we want to increase our knowledge, but we still need to get a return on investment from what we actually what we learn on. So
that's right.
If you're not looking at that, then that's something you should look at, because if you're starting something new, I think I did PN1 back in the day, and Did I use the PN coaching system? Not really. I did it. I sort of got my qualification. I never really used it. Have I used the information a lot? Yes. Has it returned? Had a good return on investment? I'd say yes. Could I used it? I've used it better if I would have set in plan a bit more of I would have set in place a bit more of a plan and said, okay, this is when I finish. This is when I'm going to launch a nutrition coaching, habit-based coaching system, and then probably yes, I probably would have got more from it, and probably would have got a bigger ROI,
Yeah.
and potentially had a separate part of my business. So, when you do something, you want to look at that sort of thing. Otherwise, I mean, what have you done? What courses have you done, Rich, that you've not used so much, or
I've uh, I think I've got a variety of things where, sorry, a range of level of implementation from courses I've done. Like some I've gone back and just smashed the whole thing back into my business really, really well. And others I've kind of dabbled around the edges. And I think
yeah,
part of that is my confidence in the skills, because these are hands-on skills.
yeah,
And I've got the problem of trying to do everything perfectly rather than just imperfectly having a go. And
yeah,
that's my own problem I've got to get my head around and say, look, clients don't necessarily know whether you're doing it really, really well or whether you're not doing it really, really well. But you've got to appear to be professional and know what you're doing. So, you'd start small, start at a low level, and try and practice on your best clients who are most amenable to new things, and explain that to them. Say, look, this is new education, this is new knowledge. I'm just trying to bed it in. Would you be happy if we had to go at X, Y, Z during your session? And then they'll be far more understanding if you're kind of fumbling a little bit, because you're still trying to bed it in. But I've found that when I did a course that I embedded more of it, my confidence in the whole thing just went up quicker. I just literally spent more time after the course taking notes that made sense to me. I had like a little
yeah,
cheat sheet of all the stuff I condensed onto one post-it. This is like a movement assessment. So I could go bang, 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 bang when a client walked in the door, and I knew that I'd ticked all of the, I guess, step one assessment of this movement assessment.
yeah,
And for me, that's how my brain works. I need some sort of memory jogger so that I don't miss a step. But if I try and do it without any of that in between work, between finishing the course and actually implementing with the client, I get lost in the gap.
yeah,
And so does the client, and I kind of sort of get less and less confident about doing it, and just leave it. So
yeah,
so without any specifics, there are, I guess I've learned more about myself over the years and what works better for me and what doesn't. But having a plan in that gap between the course finishing and when you're actually using it with clients is really important for me. And it helps
yeah,
me build my confidence so that I can go, right, we're going to do this, 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 because it's going to help you with that and that and that. Let's go. And the more you do, the better it gets and the easier it gets. And then the crib sheet you don't even need. You've kind of got it part of the way you do things with all clients or most clients. And hey presto, it's ingrained.
yeah. That's it. I think, like you said, the doing it and getting a cheat sheet and getting everything set up and a system in place as soon as you can,
Yeah.
rather than just doing it, leaving it a few weeks. Next minute is a month. Next minute you go back to it and you're like, oh, I actually
Mm,
can't quite remember what this note
mm,
means, or it's kind of gone out of your head a little bit.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think and some things are worth. Like I spent, I think about $300 on a myofascia massage course.
Mm,
Um, and I think it's about $300, 250, something like that. Anyway, I did that, and you know what? At first, I thought in the gym I'm gonna have a massage table because I wanted to do some sports massage as well. So I was thinking I'm gonna have a sport that, and it means I can do some active release stuff and things like that on the table in the gym. I've not really done that. It's something that I probably will end up adding in, but it's not really what I need at the minute,
mm, mm,
space wise. But I have used the massage with clients, and for $250, I've managed to help people feel better, move better.
mm,
And although it's not an instant ROI, it's not something that I'm just doing massage with. the people who have done that with, it's maybe saved them money, but it's also definitely made me go from like being here as a trainer to being here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's again invaluable because they'll stay for longer.
Yeah.
And they'll trust you that a little bit more when it comes to other things as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's again, it comes back to implementation, doesn't it? It's not rocket science. And if you are prepared to invest reasonably large amounts of money, which I recommend, you really want to get something out of that, and it's up to you to do that. It's up to you to have a plan in place. Don't go to the course and not have a plan. I would go to the course and already have done the plan and saying, right, what steps am I going to take when I get back to make this happen? And sort of already have those things in your head or even on a piece of paper, so that you're thinking about those following steps.
Yeah, I think some people say a certain amount of percentage of your income to go towards like continuing education. I've never really looked at it that much, but
Mm,
you
mm,
know, I've always spent money on whether it's been able to attend workshops or it's been able to get DVDs. I think you can see the back.
yeah.
I've got like all my sort of books and DVDs and whatnot, and some of them I've watched once and never gone back to. Some I always refer back to.
Yeah.
Um, and you're always going to get that. And some
Yep.
things you can just watch 4 hours of a lecture or seminar or workshop, and you'll get one piece of information. But that one piece of information helps, two or
Mm,
three clients,
mm.
and then you've always got that. You're never going to lose it. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
now,
Similar thing with my library, and I keep
yeah,
my library to hand so that if I need to lend stuff out to clients, I can.
right,
If
yeah,
it comes up in conversation, oh, read this book.
yeah.
It's a nice value add for them.
Now, I was going to say, I think the other week, again, a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about that calendar that you get
Mm,
from reps. I actually found mine. I've still not got it on my wall yet, but I did find it and I've looked at it. You can see there we go. Rich's is there. Now,
my
put
version.
yeah, that's it. Put your your workshops that you're planning to do in there.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
I think I can't remember who it was. It was Alex. I think I did a course with him, and he was saying he was going to the Australia to do some courses. And I was like, wow, like that's what I want to do. I want to be
Mm,
able to go and do, part of the reason why I've got the gym is I want to be able to get to the point where I can just go and do courses all the time.
mm,
And this is someone who never really used to like going to school much, never really listened to school that much. But now I found something I want to. I'm like, I want to just all I want to do is go and learn and do different
yeah.
workshops, and
Yeah.
the gym pay me to basically go and bring it back to teach my
Mm,
trainers
perfect.
and stuff like that.
Yep.
So even now, if you're thinking I haven't got enough money to go to the States or I haven't got enough money to do 2 or 3 courses, look at what's going to be most valuable for you, and then think, okay, if I can have this course here, that's then I'm going to be able to implement that, and that's going to be able to make me, double the amount I put in. That's your money. Separate that money and have that money for your next 2 courses or
Yep.
your next big course.
Yep.
I think that's something that's really easy to do, because all you're doing is you just scaling up all the time, reinvesting the same money. Might be $300 you're doing on a course,
Mm,
and that might make you $600,
mm,
or it might just make you the 300 back, and then you're going to do something else. But just keep that little kitty and keep adding to it, and then the more you add to it, the more you'll be able to go and do different things. You might be able to go to Australia, or you might be able to go to the States, or
yeah.
no one starts off doing lots and lots of courses. You start off small and do some of the free ones. Actually, there's some really good free ones. I think PT on the net is something I used to. Have you heard of that? PT on the net?
Yeah. It rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ian's got quite a lot of stuff on there. This is like,
Okay.
oh, Jesus, when I was back in the UK, like 11,
Mm,
12 years ago, I was
mm,
on this. And they've got so many free courses on there, and each month they change. And it's like a free little, I think they give you like 5 or 6 articles to go through, and then give you like a quiz at the end, and it gets you a couple of points.
cool.
I actually do that all the time just because like it's free,
Yeah.
and I couldn't afford to spend any money on courses.
Mm,
But there's so much free information out there.
mm,
Use it, put it to use, try and make a bit more money off it,
Yeah.
use that money to do more courses, and then just keep
Yeah.
scaling up.
Yeah.
And soon enough, you'll be,
Mm.
yeah, going
Mm.
to all the courses you
Yeah.
want.
And with courses in mind, we will plug ours because we're looking to put together a there's our timer. Looking to put together a workshop for people, PTs, particularly PT graduates, who are wanting to find their feet, wanting to get their business established and have their business systems locked in. Sometime in April, we'll come back with a date more specifically nearer the time. But PT graduates here to help graduates settle into the industry, stay in the industry, and put some things in place that will help that happen. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, drop us a message on Facebook, and we'll be in touch, and we can give you a bit more background information as to the content and what sort of things we'll be covering, so that you can make a decision as to whether that's a good fit for you.
And I will guarantee that whatever we not set a price or anything, but I'll guarantee that we'll double your money with this information I'll give you.
At least,
at least, if we're not, like, double the money is bare minimum, but I would guarantee it, because there's no way, if you put the stuff that we're going to teach you in place, even by the end of the day, you will probably have saved the money back from just some of the financial stuff that you're going to learn. It's invaluable, and it's the stuff that you're not going to get taught on your course. So
cool. It is awesome. All right, on that note, we will sign off and catch you guys next week. Cheers
guys. Bye.